Meteorologist Casey Cloud back here in the Weather Center on this Sunday afternoon, trying to give you the latest information to protect you, your friends, and your family. Two new severe thunderstorm warnings coming out here over the last few moments. One including parts of Baker and Columbia and about 115, more rural territory there, including the community of Taylor and Baker County. But the reason we're jumping on is because much more population density, and another warning issued to 130 for portions of Baker, Bradford, and Union, especially focusing on McClenny, though. I know at 12:52, a severe thunderstorm was located over Sanderson, or 11 miles north of Rayford, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. So let's go ahead and go to this radar view now. We do see Rayford, McClenny, Glen St. Mary, Sanderson, Ellerby under this warning here. So we're watching the wind really pick on up here on our velocity scans as it comes in toward McClenny here. I know it's seeing that over Taylor as well, but much more population toward I-10 and McClenny, so that's where the focus is going to be. I know it was kind of showing a little bit of a signal there, but then it got really strong into the warning. It may have weakened just a little bit in the last scanners too, but it's still looking like it could cause some damage as it comes into McClenny, so make sure you get inside, you get away from windows right now around McClenny. It's just some pretty nasty wind acts, some of the strongest we've seen all day showing up on radar. Winds to about 55 miles an hour, showing up right along I-10, and in fact, I'm going to try to pull up a camera here in this area in just a few moments, so bear with me here. Our Florida 511 perspectives. We're going to try to get that information efforted to you guys out there right now as this inclement weather moves on in. These nastier conditions here in toward this area. So let's see kind of what we have here. I know I'm trying to get some of the best camera views we possibly can here up for you guys. So just trying to see how things are deteriorating. The movement's pretty quick in toward McClenny right now. So some folks with their flashers on the roads. This is going to be one traffic camera view right now that we're going to pop up I-10 there at mile marker 331.8. You can kind of see what we're dealing with right now. Some pretty treacherous conditions, the flashes of what would appear to be lightning here in toward this area. So some inclement weather moving right in toward McClenny right now there in Baker County. These are dangerous conditions coming on in. Maybe some of that wind blowing the rain around. You can kind of see that here in this visual, it would seem. So some nastier conditions here right now. Again, just trying to get you the latest information. This is a live Florida 511 perspective here. This is some bad weather, dangerous weather, severe weather maybe moving in toward McClenny there right now, Baker County. We're in Bradford. We're doing okay on Stark per se, but a different story. We're looking for northern Bradford with a warning, but really in toward McClenny is what we're really concerned right now for some nastier weather. These storms have been really kind of being a little bit more significant here. As we've been looking at things over the last little bit. A lot of flashes here, folks. So some dangerous weather moving in toward town here, in toward McClenny right now. This is some nasty stuff that we're talking about. The warning continuing for areas to the north around Taylor, the other one that we've been tracking. They have cleared Columbia out of this, but they're saying that the severe thunderstorm there threat does continue here. As we get right into Taylor, those are some really strong winds. Pretty rural out there, but one or two of severe thunderstorms looking at over the community of Taylor and Baker County, or 22 miles southeast of Fargo, moving east at 20 miles an hour. So there's two maximums here. One around Taylor, but then another would be slightly weaker, but not by much, moving right into toward McClenny. Some more damage potential out of that one here along this line. Again, McClenny getting some heavy rain coming to town now, with the worst of the wind is right there just out back behind. I'm probably right around Glen St. Mary, I would think here. Glen St. Mary not showing up on this map, but that's kind of where I'm thinking this would be right now as we're looking at things. Just trying to give you guys the very latest here on what is happening as the severe weather potential moves on into town here. This is some pretty nasty stuff. We don't get this that often on McClenny. Just over the years, things don't generally shape up on velocity to be quite this intense coming into town here. So we're really concerned right now. I mean, it's not a tornadic situation or anything that's going to cause us widespread damage, but in terms of having at least some damage potential, I think the probability is pretty high. We'll have some damage here, at least even if it's minor in terms of some trees, some tree limbs, or a power line falling here toward McClinney. So again, let's just keep that in mind here as we look at McClinney over the next few moments. Got some more cameras for you here. This was a really nasty shot. Let's go over here live. I mean, maybe the way it's zoomed in makes it a little nastier, but I-10 mile marker 333 here. You see it's going really slow. That traffic there right now. These treacherous conditions coming on in toward the McClinney area right now. Look at all those flashes here. This is some really bad weather here that we're dealing with. Unfortunate. I hope we don't have accidents out here, but this is the weather that would exactly promote accidents here in this type of situation. Again, the weather's really deteriorated around McClinney right now in Baker County. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning in play here. Some gusts to 60 based on radar and even some of these visuals. Not out of the question here. Not seeing those gusts in the sights right now necessarily, but some pretty wicked weather nonetheless here. Making it very dangerous on the roads here. This is I-10 and it's almost at a standstill right now because of these conditions where the visibility has been reduced here in Baker County. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning from McClinney until 1:30, including a little bit of Bradford, a little bit of Union, but it's mainly about areas around McClinney here in Baker County. We're very concerned here around McClinney. Again, this is some really nasty stuff. Might have just lost the power on that camera, so let's go ahead and move away from that. Those conditions here causing some havoc there for sure in the Wardad area. Let's look here. You can see the latest scan actually has the wind a little bit north with the strongest, but any of this in here could be gusting to 50 along this corridor, moving into town here. Maybe even a little bit stronger than that. Not out of the question in spots. And this will be headed, I mean, we'll probably get another warning based on some of these sites we've been looking at toward Baldwin and Bryceville, maybe in the north side of Jacksonville here, or even it could even extend further down, but especially here, I mean, this whole area probably get a whole big warning here. Just one, they probably could wrap it all the way up from about areas there, just maybe south of I-10, all the way through some of these areas like Callahan and Bryceville, if they want to do it together like that. So again, going to be a pretty nasty little bit here, it looks like, towards some more populated areas, unfortunately, here, as the conditions are pretty nasty. And some areas in southern Charleston not as populated, which is good, but around McClinney, some pretty nasty weather going on, as you've seen in some of those visuals. I'll see if that camera's come back up there. Okay, new warning now. Baker, Nassau, and Charlton until 1:30. So let's go ahead and zoom on out here. We'll try to give you guys the latest information on what's happening with this new warning here. We're just checking some different things here in the chat session. So 1:30, Baker, Nassau, and Charlton. Number 231 of the year, severe thunderstorm warning that's come out of the office there in Jacksonville, southwestern Nassau, central Baker, and southeastern Charlton until 1:30. A 106 severe thunderstorm is located 7 miles east of Taylor, 20 miles west of Callahan, moving east at 30 miles an hour. So we're talking about areas there around Taylor, McClinney, Glen St. Mary, St. George, and Bryceville in there. So there it is. That kind of fills in the gaps. They probably would have let the 2 warnings go. This one kind of covers both areas. They're not getting into Duval. Looks like they did that just because the wind pixels here are not set up quite as much. Maybe as on that southern flank, they maybe think that some of the worst of this could just get north of Duval. It looks like they did that intentionally just to not overwarn folks here in toward this area. So again, looking there right now. McClinney, though, seeing some of this stuff move up in toward, again, Bryceville here toward St. George. We have areas there like Montiac in here as well. Although we were just getting the delayed report, Hamilton County, a tree down that was caused by thunderstorm winds there 3 miles east northeast of Westlake there around 11:50 this morning. We were on during our coverage earlier here on all the different platforms. So traffic again, let's see if we can get these cameras up. I know that one camera, let me see if I can get it. Okay, it looks like, let's see, this is mile marker 333, so let's see if we can get this visual now. It's just, does not look like whether I would want to be in or any of you would want to be in either. This is some pretty nasty stuff that we're dealing with here with a lot of traffic backups. A lot of traffic backups here in toward this area. Some inclement weather for sure. You just don't want to have to be dealing with this here. If you can help it, and this stuff's moving toward areas there further downstream in Nassau and Charlton and other areas of Baker County as well. So it's something to kind of keep in mind here. You can see it's just a situation with a lot of reduced visibility here in the Wardar part of the region. I know when we signed off a little while ago, we did mention we had more instability further east, and this is taking advantage of that here. It's just a marginal risk day, but marginal risk days can still be problematic. And let's see, the instability stuff's been able to build up here with these temperatures in toward the 90s, and the instability factor is so high. We're talking about joules of kilograms of CAPE over 4,000, over 4,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE here. So that's not what you want to see with the energy values here. I'm seeing 4,768. I know this is something that's really technical, but it kind of helps to describe the situation we're down with here. Let's go ahead and zoom back out a little bit. We have some stronger storms there. They're northwest of Albany. We'll keep our eyes on those. Not as much energy up there, but can't ride a rogue severe storm in that area. As we continue to watch things here, let's see that marginal risk is still in play. But right now, our severe focus, we really have, there's 3 warnings, but really the newest one kind of is what we're really tracking, the worst potential within, which is, and it looks like now they have cleared Bradford and Union out of the other one that has a few moments ago, as we talked about here. That throw's kind of retreating a little bit. Seeing a little bit of rotation, honestly, around McClenny now. That's not that far off the radar site there. Gotta be kind of careful here around McClenny then, folks. I know if we had anything developing in here, it'd be rain wrap, but it's not really strong. It's just weak right now, but it could be a burst of wind energy to the surface too. Just being right over town, this worries me just a little bit here, so be careful around McClenny. I really would be taking this seriously around McClenny for at least severe thunderstorm conditions. I know we're being told of a tree that was down, that was caused by thunderstorm winds there, 9 miles west of Jennings there in Hamilton County around 11:55 this morning as well. So these storms further back to the west, these ones that we're looking at, some of this accidents have a history of producing damage. As we've been tracking things across the region, at least some of that stuff's moved further up, but you kind of get the idea. Just continuing to watch things here. Just don't like that shape on that storm around McClenny. Hopefully that's just an anomaly here. I want to go to the moodier side just to see, because sometimes these angles here can be a bit of an anomaly on us in terms of it may just be kind of the angle is hidden because this is still sun at the other angle. I'd be a little more concerned. Yeah, there's a little bit of, it's weak here, but maybe if anything, this could just be, we're not seeing an environment favorable for really rotation today. It's just a situation here where we could get a little quick enhancement of wind right over town here, right over State Road 121 right now here as we're looking at it live. And that's headed over. This is about a minute behind. So really, some of these areas right in here is where we could have some type of wind enhancement as it crosses over that and gets further off toward the east here now. So again, looking in Baker County right now, north side of McClenny, moving off toward the east here right now. Just checking some of our different scans here, trying to give you guys the very latest on what's going on. Again, a little bit of wind enhancement here for sure that we're monitoring very carefully in the weather center. So it's moving there as it gets with the latest scan now. It's still kind of hanging around areas just east there. As we're talking of, it looks like State Road 121 and even 5th Street there in McClenny. So again, this is a pretty nasty storm there as we're going. I'm going between a bunch of products you're not familiar with seeing here, or maybe on the air. This one's correlation coefficient. You're probably used to seeing that one, but like ZDR, and we have also spectrum width here. Just helps me. It's stuff that's really kind of not stuff we really explain on the air too much. ZDR is about upscale growth. Spectrum width about some different things we're measuring, but again, correlation coefficient can look for hail or debris. Weren't seeing anything like that in there. So that's good news. But we'll continue to watch things, obviously. So, again, we'll just keep on looking at all our different scans here. Some nasty weather conditions here. A new warning, the latest warning until 1:30 for southwestern Nassau, central Baker, and southeastern Charlton counties. Storm axis moving generally east at 30 miles an hour. Taylor, McClenny, Glen St. Mary, St. George, and Bryceville under the warning. But again, our focal point has really been around McClenny based on the overall signatures and the population density here. So let's go ahead and zoom back out just a little bit. I know we're still seeing some strong wind moving into southern Charlton. I mean, that's actually a little bit stronger wind in some ways. I know that road there that takes you from St. George to Pontiac there, that's the wind pixel area. It's showing winds at 65, which is very concerning about to cross over that. So that'll be something to watch maybe for Callahan here over the next little bit. That's a pretty highly populated area in the path. But St. George, there's some things there. I mean, there's a small store there that some different places people go. As I'm thinking about the town there, I mean, it's changed a little bit since I've been up there, but just looking at some things there about our area in Charlton County. So, again, just continuing to watch things here. Looking around McClenny again, some very weak, but it is, I would call it rotation, but very weak rotation here right over town. So, we'll just keep watching that. That latest scan's a little bit weaker now. Even a rotation tracker picked up on it. It's just this spot here wasn't really advantageous for us to get some rotation. That's why I was focusing on it more than I generally would. I mean, not trying to overhype things or anything like that. But this is how the shear rate product was showing it. The current one, that current view has it still in terms of some rotation. It's not overwhelming, but for a scan there, it's showing it a little bit stronger with the rotation. But wasn't really seeing something like that, advertised here in this setup. Haven't seen any type of debris. Ooh, well, let's check that again. That was interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and check. I don't want to overhype this. I mean, it's just that's kind of interesting there. Hopefully there's an explanation for that area there. That little green dropout. We're going to hope there's an explanation for that. So, again, let's go ahead and go back on over. Let's go ahead and zoom back on out here. Let me see I want to see if we can pull up a Florida 511 cameras in this area. I know, looking at these nasty conditions, we get a camera pointed in north here, that'd be helpful. Or even back northwest on one of these here, maybe just see if we can, we're close enough to town. It'd be kind of hard to see anything, but it might be worth taking a chance here. Just a one-man band, so. I mean, honestly, I'm not even sure which camera direction this is pointed in, but let's just go ahead and pull it up for a moment. It does show some clouds here. This shows some clouds. You can kind of see here some nastier conditions in the area in Baker County for sure. This is mile marker 340. Again, Florida 511 perspective. Let's get back over here. Hopefully there'll be some type of, I want to check this again because that was interesting. To be quite honest, that was 115. I mean, I'm trying to figure out exactly. I want to say explain why this is not debris, and hopefully it's just some type of anomaly because we're close to the radar. But that's interesting. Let's go ahead and go out toward the Moody site. Not really seeing it from there, but that's higher up, so you wouldn't expect to see it if it was some type of quick touchdown there. Things can get tricky this time of year, so again, just continuing to watch things here on our scans. And that went away. I mean, that went away there, folks. So that's kind of interesting. Again, just continuing to watch things here in the weather center in Baker County. I want to see if we can figure out some power outages here. Let's just go ahead and continue to watch things here in the word Baker County right now. I want to see if we're starting to see some outages, whether that was just some wind enhancement, a downburst, or something else. We may have had some power outages here start to line up on us here in toward that area over the last few moments. I'll check FPNL here, see what we're dealing with. See what we're dealing with there. There are a few in McClenny, only a couple showing up. Well, okay, now we're getting a few more. 5 customers. That was way earlier, it looks like. So again, let's just go ahead and keep checking things here. Keep checking things here on our different scans. We're going to go ahead and batten this one up again. To be quite honest, there may have been some type of really quick spin there. The more I look at this, I got to check our other color table here real quick, because I'm kind of curious there, because the more I look at that kind of reminds me of some stuff. Hopefully, I'm misreading this, something like that. But definitely interesting to see that little green pixel, because that's not. If this was on the edge of a storm, it'd make a little more sense. But that was at 114. I mean, just doing a little bit of stuff here that looks like it'd be kind of back behind a little, but it's right in the middle of the rain. There's no good explanation for that, because it's not hail or anything like that. So it's worth noting at least. We'll keep tracking it. Let's go ahead and go back on over here, though. It does, green and red doesn't look quite as well defined now, but there's still some wind enhancement as this pushes over toward Bryceville over the next little bit. So again, let's go ahead. There's a lot of energy out here, and that can always make things a little bit trickier when we're tracking things here in the weather center. Not seeing any STP values now in terms of supercell composite, but we're not seeing much of that. We're seeing a little bit right near the coast, but again, just continuing to track things here over the next little bit. We're trying to give you guys the very latest. So we're seeing there was a report at 110 of a gust of 44 miles an hour in Baker County. So again, just kind of worth noting there. That was in an area there. Let's get the precise location. There's a lot of different spots that have been impacted by nasty weather, Baker, over the last few moments here. This is 6 miles northeast of Taylor, so that other area of one that we were tracking there, that we were monitoring in the weather center. So again, just continuing to watch things here, continuing to monitor the situation here in our area right now. We're going to go ahead and look at some different things. I just want to go ahead. I'm checking some other computer sources right now to get an idea on some different algorithms here and the like. I just want to see what we're kind of getting in right now. This kind of helps me as a meteorologist get an idea of what's going on and what can happen in these type of setups. So, kind of worth noting here. I'm bouncing back a little bit. Wanted some higher resolution shots on things. Let me go ahead and zoom back out a little bit. Just trying to get an idea of some stuff here in the weather center. Just bear with me as we're trying to give you guys the latest. So again, still monitoring things here. The warning does continue to 1:30 for parts of Baker, Nassau, and Charlton counties. So that's the storyline right now. At 1:22, a severe thunderstorm was located over St. George, or 12 miles southwest of Callahan, moving east at 30 miles an hour. So St. George and Bryceville are under this warning. That's the storyline right now. Let me see if there are any questions from any of the viewers out there. See if we got any questions here. Again, I just kind of keep checking things. I keep monitoring things here in the weather studios here right now. Just trying to make sure you guys know exactly what is happening. So let me go ahead right now and get back on over toward our other modes here. Checking our power outage maps again. See what we have. If there's anything on Clay Electric in that area. So I do see 25 customers in the dark. There are not too many on Clay Electric and Baker, but I'm not sure how far that goes up into Baker, because it looks like only a few thousand in the county are covered by them anyway. So, and then in Bradford, we do have 39 customers out on Clay Electric right now. So, again, just kind of worth noting. Here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to check our, looks like the Okefenokee EMC. Okay, it looks like there are some outages showing up on there. Right into Ward McClenny now. So 690 customers in the dark there then. This is right around, it looks like, okay, I got it on street level on the power outage map now. So around Sandsdale Road, Bob Kirkland Road, Tranquil Lane, some power outages up there in that vicinity. Tom Wilkerson Road, Cooperfield Circle, 690 customers in the dark in that area, and then 53 in the dark in terms of areas there on the Okefenokee power system there in the McClenny area around Garrett Lane, over to Ward. It looks like roads like Deer Creek Lane as well. So again, just kind of keep looking at things in that regard. Again, that is showing there some power outages in toward these different spots. I want to kind of match this up a little bit here. I want to match this up just a little bit here north of McClenny. There, as we're watching things right now. We're north of Glen St. Mary, north of McClenny. We're going to go ahead. I mean, that's right where we had that little spin, honestly, on the radar. It would seem, I'm trying to correlate that for sure, but that little spin there we had right around 1:15. When did this outage get reported? Let's see, is that, it may not tell me on this one. Sometimes they do tell me. Okay, it looks like that was reported a little earlier than that, so that could be a sign, and then that's not necessarily directly correlated. Okay, we just got a new flash flood warning now for parts of area. I need to touch on that here in just a moment, but again, let's go ahead and do that then now. It's going to be for parts of Lee and Terrell County. This is a different part of the area than we've been really tracking things in here today, but there's some rainfall that's really coming on down here in toward these areas here in Georgia now. We're seeing some problems set on up there. So you see east of Dawson there, 2 to 3 inches of rain showing up there east of Dawson in Terrell County, and the areas there in Lee County, not as much so far, but that could always change here. The statement from the Weather Service in Tallahassee at 1:24, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 2 and 3.5 inches of rain have fallen in the last hour. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches are possible in the warned area, and flash flooding is either ongoing or expected to begin shortly. So Leesburg, Dawson, Sasser, over toward Jordan Place, Starksville, Georgia, Bridges Crossroad, Dawson Municipal Airport as well in here. Getting a lot of rain. That white area indicative of 3 inches in the last hour. And then that storm total here showing about the same. So some of that spreading in the north side of Leesburg here over the next little bit. So again, continuing to watch things here. Let's get back as we're looking at things there. I know they actually have, and I want to double check. They look like they're going to expire the warning. Kind of interesting to see that, but looks like they're planning on and have as of about 1:30. The plans are employed to expire this warning here. I'm still seeing winds about 50-55 miles an hour. Not really seeing a rotation like we were, or any type of wind enhancement really focused. Maybe a little bit of broad stuff, but it's not like it was where we actually seen a rotation tracker, or at least for a moment, that kind of get a little bit tighter. These boundaries, things come together tricky this time of year, so some type of odd merger, maybe. Let me see. Yeah, there was kind of something that was right on the edge. I mean, it's interesting at least. I mean, maybe not a merger, but that's how it looked on the radar there about 1:10. There was just a bit thunderstorm warning to play. No official tornado warning. Nothing's been confirmed in that regard or anything like that. So hopefully nothing happened like that. It's just we had some odd signatures showing up at a decent, very close overall distance to the radar, and we would like here to kind of detect things. So just trying to give you the heads up best we can here, just in case something was happening in that regard. So we're at 129 right now. Let's check to see if we have any questions here. Again, thanks so much for tuning in and trusting me. I see Top Cat there. Thanks so much there. Looking on YouTube, I appreciate that. As we go ahead and continue to watch things here right now on the Doppler radar. You can see here, looking at our different scans, looking toward parts of Duval County here, looking toward parts of Duval County. You can see here some heavy rain in there in part of the south side of town. As we look here to the north of Bryceville, though, there's still some pixels to 60. They just don't think they're verifying, apparently. I want to go ahead and check the power outage numbers again, though. See what they're showing right now. Power outage.us. Let's check that here again. See what we have. Let's check Clay Electric. I want to check just all three of them that we have available here. The 26 customers out on Clay Electric in Baker County. FP&L, let's see what they have there. It's a little bit sometimes trickier because of how things are foot on up, but there are a few outages in that region. Looks like we got, well, that's quite a few, and that's a little bit before the radar was showing there. 1,755 customers, so even if it wasn't something in terms of rotation, we had a heck of a storm go across there then in McClenny to have 1,755 customers in the dark here, according to FP&L, right around McClenny. And then on the Okefenokee REMC grid there, we had some more customers, another 743. That's a good number. I mean, McClenny is not huge here, folks. To have that many customers in the dark, this storm had to have done some damage around town. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you do the math on that here, folks. And again, let me double check everything. So 1,755 plus another. Again, adding those numbers up here, another 700 and something. That's about 2,500 customers in the dark there, right around McClenny proper. That's a lot of folks without power. That's about a third of McClenny, based on some population statistics I'm looking at here, in the dark right now. So whether it was just a spin, a downburst, maybe that's possible. I mean, not out of the question. Or just some wind enhancement across town. They had some damage in weather move across McClenny here while we were on the air with you guys. So that's worth noting. No formal warning here now, just a flash flood warning in the north, but still got to remember to turn around, don't drown in. I know that's a little bit a little bit harsh, but that's the terminology used there by the Weather Service in general. And significant advisory now Duval to the south, but let me see here. I want to see if I can figure out anything else from Baker County there. Baker County, Florida. Let me go ahead and see what we have. If there's anything coming out of there, because that's a pretty nasty number there. Let me go ahead and see what we're dealing with here. Okay. I was hoping we could get some information out of Baker, but see, the Facebook group's private here, but just trying to get you guys the latest on what's going on out of Baker County right now. So we're just going to keep looking at things. I have some other counties. I don't have Baker. I might be wanting to add that here in my system here pretty soon, but let's go ahead and give you guys some other looks at things. I know some gusty winds across Duval and St. John's right now. You can see here, looking at things there, you see some nastier weather coming across the south side of town. Some wind enhancement, maybe winds about 40 miles an hour possible there. Looking towards St. Augustine now, you can see 91 degrees there still. This is kind of fueling all this. 90 degrees at DIA. Again, that flash flood warning is in play for Lee and Terrell counties. You see in the Ward Albany, we're getting some more of this to come into the picture though, but that flash flood warning is pretty small, but right there, just east of Dawson, 3 inches in some spots about an hour. That can cause some problems. Again, flash flood warning to 4:30. Central Lee, East Central Terrell counties, and southwestern Georgia at 1:24. Doppler indicated thunderstorm producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 2 and 3.5 inches of rain have fallen in the last hour, and additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches are possible in the warned area, so flash floodings ongoing are expected to begin shortly. Leesburg, Dawson, Sasser, Jordan Place, Starksville, Bridges Crossroad, Dawson Municipal Airports. That's where that dark green box is. That flash flood warning's in play for the next few hours. By the way, not in our area, not severe, but it came up in the chat. I thought I'd mention it. Further down to the south, let's get a Tampa radar real quick. There's some storms down here. I know it looks like toward Pasco County, 4 miles east of Odessa, there was a gust of 43 miles an hour about an hour ago. Some of that stuff down there. Stuff to the east, though, where Roy Watson in Central Florida. We want to go to the Melbourne radar for this. You can see Deltona area there, east of Orlando, with some problems there. We'll keep our eyes on that with some heavy downpours and maybe some gusty winds in there mixing down as well. But again, still some wind in here, 40 to 50. There's some different pixels west side of town at Duval, 55, 57 miles an hour showing up there. We'll keep watching things obviously here in the weather center. Let me go ahead and zoom back out just a little bit here. Just trying to give you guys the very latest on what's going on. Let me go ahead and zoom around a little bit here. Just hearing some rolls of thunder where I'm at here in Bradford County, and see another storm, not an advisory situation, but a little storm here coming toward town here over the next few moments. Let's go ahead and pull up traffic in the corner, or excuse me, not traffic, our outdoor camera here in the corner. You can see some darker skies, not really dark, kind of already a situation where we have some light rain around, but you do see some conditions here that are a little bit dark here per se outside at this moment. So again, let's go ahead and keep checking things. Let's see, I'm going to check the weather stem sites in Baker. I might be a little bit late to get the stuff here. Let me see, I think that's where they got the one measurement from the state park. Let's see if maybe the high school here, if they're even, yeah, there's still one. Or no, oh, it's offline. Okay, so wonder when it went offline. Well, the camera's still working. I wonder if the actual measurement site got offline then. So the camera's still working there. But let's see what else we might have. Could be a situation where they just have a little bit of power there now, but not a lot of power. Well, let me rephrase that there. I mean, what I mean by that is, I mean, that's kind of right, but it might be in a backup system. The camera's still generating, but we're not actually able to see current observations. So, again, just looking at some of the different numbers here. It looks like the last 24 hours, one of the regions there, 1.15 inches falling. So, let's look in Duval again. Seeing some wind enhancement here. We're probably not too far off a severe thunderstorm warning for Duval here. They're not quite there yet with this, but seeing some pixels 52 miles an hour, not that far off the surface there around Sportsman Club Road in toward Jacksonville. So that's worth noting at least. Let's pull up some of our wind numbers here in Jacksonville. I'm not seeing a lot, but it has to actually hit the sights here. Some of these stronger winds to get these to get a little bit higher on our screen. So that's worth noting here. Again, just thanks so much for tuning in and trusting me here on this Sunday. I'm meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center. And also thanks so much to Top Cat again there. I appreciate that there. If you're watching on YouTube, I appreciate that. Thanks so much. But again, let's go ahead and continue to look at our Doppler radar right now. You can see here as we're looking into our Duval County, some stronger winds on the south side. That's right near the river. These winds here add up only to about 40 to 50 there. But in this area here, if you go to straight line wind mode, that's closer to 55 miles an hour worth of wind possibly. Maybe again, just under severe. That's headed kind of closer to the airport there over the next little bit. So that's kind of worth noting. We're just going to keep looking at some things here in the Weather Center I'm going to keep looking at some of our different metrics here for sure. Again, I know, okay, our aggregate map's only showing 752 customers out in Baker, but we were able to go individually here and find out there's more than that without electricity. So, I mean, just on Okefenokee or EMC there, we have about 744 right around McClenny, and I mean, 746 looks like in the county on them in the dark. And then FP&L here, looking at the numbers here from them around McClenny. So it looks like they have some of these individual areas kind of highlighted. It looks like that means some of these outages might have been, let me double check this. Yeah, I think some of the outages have been restored then, because I don't see the whole bundle of outages in that we have. There's still a few folks without power. They're, just west of 228, it looks like. Not too far, just maybe west-southwest, or just west even of the Baker County Detention Center. So I see a little bit of outages kind of bundled together there, but not near as high as what we saw a moment ago when we were getting over 1,700, I believe it was. And then Clay Electric, let's see what they got now. 26. Yeah, we're doing better now. That might indicate there was some damage, but it was damage that was able to get fixed a little bit quicker for the most part. So that might indicate more of a summertime setup, but we don't know for sure yet at this point in time. Kind of speculating here at this point. But right in the St. Johns River, some nasty weather, some nasty rains. Maybe we're going to a traffic camera shot again, since we're right there in the River City with this. And it's not severe right now. We're just sticking with it a little longer here, just to make sure we're kind of covering our bases with everything, because that was kind of a little nastier signature than we generally get in Baker. We rarely get, though, these storms that kind of set up over Baker, so the different angles on the radar could be possibly, hopefully that's what it was, playing tricks with us here. But just, you never know, though, in these type of setups. So let's see what we got toward Jacksonville. I know the Buckman Bridge. This will be one camera shot we can try to take here. Maybe try to get that up. It's definitely dark out there. Definitely dark at this point in time. I know we're getting more delayed reports, of some different wind issues, and I'll go ahead and get on over to that in a moment. But there's a camera shot. I know we're being told right now Lowndes County Dispatch reported a down tree in Cliveville. That may have been earlier this morning, though, based on this information we're seeing in chat, 7:24 a.m. But this is that view in Jacksonville. Definitely dark out there right now. You don't want to be out if you can help it into this part of Duval County. So let's get back on over there to our other views. Just trying to give you guys the very latest here on what's going on. Bear with me. So we have some views here west there. It looks like we were just looking just west of the St. Johns River. Some dark skies. I-295 west south of Blandon. Let's jump into that shot then. Just out ahead of the storms. Kind of see what we're doing with the strong storm. Not a severe storm anymore here, but I'm sticking with it a little longer based on what we saw in Baker, just in case we get another warning. And also we have the flash flood warning still toward Lee County there and Terrell counties in Georgia at 4:30. We're not going to stay on anywhere near that long unless we had other warnings pop up. But just kind of stick with it a little longer just to kind of cover our bases here. So again, I'm looking at this shot right now. I-295 west south of Blanding. Definitely some inclement conditions in the area. Right near the St. Johns River. Some highly populated areas on a Sunday afternoon. Let's go ahead here, looking towards Southwood. Let's go ahead and pull this up now. I'm hearing some more thunder in the Bradford County area. Let me just give me a second. I'm seeing also an advisory for Bradford, so let me jump to that here in a second. Got a few things going on here that are worth staying on for just a little longer than at this point. That instability further off to the east building enough to cause some issues. So let's see. I was gonna go to that one camera. Let's try a different one if we can. Let's go maybe Butler Boulevard. Because I need to go to our camera here in a moment again because we just got an advisory for Bradford. Okay, let's try Butler Boulevard. And definitely, folks, the lights on this afternoon in Jacksonville. You can see these nastier conditions there in this type of setup. You can see how things are moving fairly fast, but still not the greatest weather there. We could keep going around Jacksonville, and I might here in a few moments, depending on what we see in Bradford. But they saw something, it's an advisor down here, so the storm is building in strength, it would appear, as it comes towards Stark. Okay, see even a little bit of wind enhancement here. That's why they probably issued that then. So let's go ahead and pull up our camera in the corner. Let's pull up our outdoor camera. You can't see a lot right now, but we'll monitor this then. We'll monitor this as it kind of maybe gets a little bit closer here. Let me read this off. So a strong thunderstorm will impact portions of Bradford County through about 2:15. They're saying there's a strong thunderstorm over Sampson, where you see that here on the map, or near Stark, moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. So winds around 40. There's your advisory. Just popping up on the screen now. Stark, New River, Sampson, Laurie, and Hampton through about 2:15 then. So this is headed there in the ward areas. I mean, toward 100 there and toward that bypass area per se. Just kind of seeing that here on our mapping as we're looking at things. I mean, even regular 301 to some degree, though, involved with this as well as we're getting further up into the county. So, not a warning in play, but with everything we've seen over the last little bit, there was some damage of some kind in Baker County. Maybe there's been wind damage there, but or downburst type of situation. That's definitely possible too, I think, based on what we're seeing with those greens and reds. That could have been more of that type of signature. It's just we're not used to that angle on the radar. But we'll find out here in the coming hours, I would think. So, again, looking there in toward Bradford County, though, looking there right now, you can see, again, some wind enhancement. I know you see some greens and reds coming together here, too, but at this point, I would think that's just some stronger gusts, not like what we were seeing to the north there or anything like that. We'll watch it, obviously. But again, looking at Duval County, let's take our camera off for a moment so I don't confuse anybody, because that's in Bradford. This is Duval here. We have some stronger winds showing up right there. Just north of US 1. Just north of US 1, seeing some stronger wind there. So, again, just going to keep checking some things here in the weather center. Trying to give you guys the update on what's going on here. We're just going to keep looking at all our different modes, our different shots here. Just let me go ahead and see what else I might have this present point in time. We continue to stick with it here right now. We continue to stick with it. You can kind of see here some stronger winds about to be crossing over I-95 just north of downtown. It would appear in Jacksonville, maybe the north side of downtown really here. Let's go ahead and see if we can get the camera up then. Let's go ahead and try to do that. Now here's some thunder where we're at, but let's get right there. Maybe see what we can do here with some of our different shots. So maybe try to get a camera, I-95 there, just north of US 1. Maybe that'd be a good spot to go. It's impacting them right about now. So, again, that's kind of the storyline that we're dealing with. And so around Brentwood, maybe Goff Fair Boulevard. Let's go there. Let's do that. Let's go to Goff Fair Boulevard and go toward that area. You have some pretty nasty conditions there. I know there's no formal warning in play, but we're sticking with things just a little longer here. Definitely seeing some nasty weather toward I-95 at Goff Fair Boulevard. You can see folks having to slow down on the road. All those lights on here this afternoon. These inclement conditions impacting portions of the viewing area. So we're just going to keep looking at things here and just tell people are staying careful here as you're going out and about. I mean, you can have accidents on the road. You can also just, I mean, as you're getting out of your cars even, gotta watch out for the lightning, but you guys could have slip and falls and the like here. So keep that in mind. I mean, you see even a little bit of ponding the water on the roadway there, as you kind of noticed in the front of this here. Some of these cars look like they're pushing a little bit of water even. So we just got a new warning now for Duval County, so that's why we stuck with this. Severe thunderstorm warning now to 2:15 for parts of Duval County. So let's go ahead and zoom here away from that camera shot for a moment. Then we'll get that polygon up to show you guys what's going on. So now severe thunderstorm warning until 2:15 for parts of Duval County. So the latest information here at about 1:49, a severe thunderstorm was located over San Marco, over Jacksonville, moving northeast at 20 miles an hour. So Jacksonville, Arlington, Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach, Mayport, Craig Field, Fort Caroline, San Marco, Riverside, Talleyrand, all included in this warning now. And no, it's, there you go, it's popped up on that source. It just popped up on other source here as well as we go between them. Again, so 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts being a possibility here in toward Jacksonville. Some very highly populated areas here under this threat. So let's go ahead and zoom in here. And you can kind of see what's going on as we're tracking things, as we're monitoring the situation. Let me go ahead and kind of deal with what we're monitoring right now. So again, right over Jacksonville, the apex of this, it would seem, getting into some of the worst of this at this hour. Let's see if there's more camera shots then. So since we did give you that look at this, I'll read it off one more time first since we have the box up now. So at 1:49, a severe thunderstorm warning was issued for Duval County. The severe thunderstorm was located over San Marco, over Jacksonville, moving northeast at 20 miles an hour. So Jacksonville, Arlington, Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach, Mayport, Craig Field, Fort Caroline, San Marco, Riverside, and Talleyrand under this warning here until 2:15 for some maybe damaging gusts in here in toward Jacksonville. So let's go ahead and see what we might have right now with some more camera shots. I think that'd be the place to go here. That'd be the place to go. More camera shots right now. Let's see, Atlantic Boulevard on-ramp there. Let's go ahead and see what we have. Let's see what we have with the Atlantic Boulevard on-ramp here right now. You can kind of see what we're dealing with here in just a few seconds on that. Here you go. You can see not just in terms of the tree movement, anything that's worth noting, but you do see some flashes out there, some of that rain coming on down. Folks having their lights on here right now. In toward Jackson on this Florida 511 camera perspective. The Florida 511 camera perspective. So you saw some flashes right when I jumped away from that, but let's kind of see where else we want to go with this. I want to look at the wind mode again to kind of point me in the right direction with our cameras. Since it's just a one-man band, we're doing this just to keep you guys safe and informed here on this Sunday afternoon. So now, looking at things here, right now. Let's go up to the north a little bit. Let's go to the Trout River Bridge. See what we have over there. Let's try to get a visual on that traffic system. So definitely seeing some shaking going on. You can see it looks like something in the front there of this shot kind of shaking around a bit. Maybe a light or another traffic camera, not 100% sure, but just kind of seeing that shake a little bit here in these conditions. I-95 at the Trout River, though, you can kind of see what we're dealing with right now. Definitely wet conditions here. I know we have a lot more cameras in Jacksonville. I wish we had cameras in Bradford, besides the one we have to go to, but that's really all we have. We don't have any Florida 511 perspectives in Bradford for our strong storm, but this is officially a severe storm now in Duval County, just so you guys know. We're kind of spending more time on it in the word Duval. Severe warning until 2:15 in play here. Some lightning, it looks like. By the way, getting more reports. Echoes County now, tree reported down caused by thunderstorm winds around 12:10 around the Mayday community. Let's go back away from this though for now. And I want to go back. Let's see what we have in Bradford. Just want to make sure we do our due diligence here. And since this is coming up into our town here over the next few moments, and we'll go back to our outdoor cam. Put that up in the corner. Don't see a whole bunch from that, to be quite honest, but it's already kind of dark out there. This is going to be the worst. Is going to be coming more into town. I think we're going to kind of get sideswiped by this here, where we're at here east of town. But we'll get into a little bit of it, I think. Okay, we just got a new warning now, though. Not for Bradford, but for Duval and St. John's now. So, extending on down, then that threat is some severe potential. Right in here, I bet. Right there. You see those greens and reds coming together. That's a downburst type signature there. Till about 2:30. May not last that long, that threat. But, by the way, at 1:40, we got a gust on weather stem to 56 miles an hour in toward Jacksonville. That's what probably prompted that warning. I know we're starting to hear rain in Bradford where we're at, but we're still kind of getting sideswept by the worst of it coming more into town. But yeah, new warning now till 2:15. That's just popped up on another source. There you go, and this source is west the area we're talking about. But I'll go to the broad view real quick then. I know we have it on velocity. Let me go ahead and go on over there right now. You can kind of see what we're dealing with. Here at this present point in time with the reflectivity. So, I guess right into town at 56 has probably caused a little bit of damage. This type of winds there in toward that area. I know that storm moving northeast, that area moving northeast at 20 miles an hour. Here to the south, moving northeast at 15 miles an hour. So, looking at our energy values right now, they've gone down a little, but the storms are moving through. So, that's the good thing about this. I know we have flash flooding threat to the north, but as we get this stuff in, hopefully it'll kind of suppress stuff enough for the rest of the day. We don't have to do this later on in the afternoon. We can just kind of enjoy our day here and the rest of it once these storms get through here in the next maybe 30, 45 minutes. Because we've seen you had that big area of purple earlier of energy just lined up, and now we don't always see that as much. You see pockets, but that's to kind of push away. Another gust of 46 now around the Talleyrand area, 3 miles northwest at 150 in Jacksonville. So let's zoom back in down here into Jacksonville right now, into Duval County. You see all that heavy rain coming down there. And you have this area down here, that downburst signature was pretty noteworthy. Do we have any cameras near that other area? This may be a little bit more substantial. I know it didn't look like much on the other mode, but I know we had some explosive development down here yesterday, and this is right there, just west of Ponte Vedra Beach. Make sure you're not on the beach here, obviously, in this type of setup. But we're seeing winds of 40 one way and about 20 the other way, so a burst of wind maybe to 60. Not necessarily rotation with this. This is not a rotational signature like what it kind of looked like, again, toward Baker County earlier on. But again, looking there in toward this area around, it looks like State Road 202. I don't think we have, just looking right off, I don't see interstates right there, so I don't think we have cameras there. But let's go back to Bradford. I hear things picking up just a little bit. Looks like some winds up a little bit higher, not by much, but a little bit higher, and start more like 40 now. Really showing up on our scan. So let's get back to the camera. I'm checking our rain gauge and our anemometer behind me here. Just checking that if you hear that beep there. I'm just trying to kind of get the latest. So we did just get a gust of 20 miles an hour out of all this here. East of Starkton. Not severe, just an advisory in play, but just in the last few moments, they get a gust of 20. I think that was right on that leading edge 7 right now, but don't really see the trees blowing too much. Haven't really got much rain from this, just a few hundred so far. Got 0.43 for today, though, but another gust of 7, 9 miles an hour. I hear that thunder. Rain's picking up some. With this weather coming on in. Significant advisory for the Stark area right now. In play until about, it looks like 2:15. 2:15 here around Stark where we're at. This is where we're at. That's why I'm spending more time on it. A few more viewers from Bradford and some other places, but we cover 62 counties here very, very thoroughly here, and we'll get back right to our warned storms in a moment. Again, some winds here, but only in that maybe to 40. Not out of the question there. West side of town probably stronger though than east side. Let me check Weather stem station at the sheriff's office again then. See what we got over there. It's a gust of 20 there in the last 10 minutes on that. So 14 right now here where we're at. 20 though is our peak as well. So interesting. Same as the sheriff's office then, but maybe just west of the areas there, maybe just west of the courthouse area, maybe a little bit stronger. Maybe toward 100 in there. Nothing overwhelming though. We wouldn't be on for this area if we weren't already on what we're dealing with up toward like Duval and what we were dealing with in Baker earlier on, dealing with in Baker County. So hearing some thunder, nothing just overwhelming. Whenever thunder roars, you want to go indoors here. You might be able to see those trees moving, hearing some of that thunder. Just looking behind me, I'm anemometer, see if anything gets crazy. Not seeing anything like that right now. So we're going to go ahead and zoom away from this then, I think, for the time being. Again, gust around 40 possible in Bradford County. They're about 215. Not out of the question. Numbers like that could cause a little bit of power problems. Here's some power outages. Let's go back to the north and east now. You can see Ponte Vedra Beach, Zaxby, Sawgrass there. We're seeing some greens and reds come together. So, again, more like downburst signatures or areas of wind enhancement at this point. So that's kind of the storyline there. We'll keep monitoring that. You see a gust there, 41 at Craig Field area. That's the estimate on that. It could go up or down. When I say that, it's the rounding of it, not an estimate. But our system likes to round a little bit weird sometimes. But tropical storm force gust will stay there right around Craig Fields. Just continuing to watch things. Giving you guys the latest here. Some nasty conditions. Let's see what else we have here. Seems to be some traffic cameras in toward Jacksonville right now to pop up. See what we have. Butler and Kernan. Might have a little something over there, possibly. Let's go over there right now. Nothing overwhelming. So that's kind of your storyline at that Florida 5-1 perspective. Different spots and different things. Let's go back to our camera again in Bradford. Let's move back down because I hear some heavier rain coming down here. Pull that up in the corner for a moment. See you guys what's going on there. Outside our window pretty much to east of Stark. Gust to 10 miles an hour. Again, this is our anemometer not all that high up, so I mean it's a little higher up than me, but it's in a spot so we can get to it fairly easy for maintenance there. Davis Weather Station, and then the monitor there. It's a good reading spot for that, and a good spot for a rain gauge. We're up to a half an inch now for today, ironically, speaking of that. So, down to 75 degrees though for the temperature. So again, looking at things around Stark, so difficult with their advisory. That's the storyline right now. Some of these greens in town, winds to about 40, not out of the question. Let's go ahead and we'll jump back to the north, I think. Back to Jacksonville we go. So we have these warnings in play. Okay, just got a gust outside of the warnings at a 48 at the airport there a few moments ago. And the tropical storm force gusts, so maybe getting some power outages there in that region in general. Just want to check JEA here in a moment. Also, or talking about other areas out here in the overall grand scheme. We talk about Bradford. Let's talk about this area here where Lee and Terrell counties right now. Getting some flash flood potential still with the heaviest rain slacking off there. That's good news. Heavy rain falling around Stark though. I don't want to leave us here in Stark since we do have that really heavy rain coming down there on that rain gauge. I'm seeing numbers to about 6/10 of an inch here for today. We wouldn't be focusing on this. I mean, if we weren't already on, we wouldn't be talking about this so that I'm posting something, but Since we're already on, it's worth noting. Okay, starting to slack off now here, I think. Let's go back to the north. Check our JE power outage map, because I bet we're seeing those numbers add up pretty good there in toward Jacksonville. Check that JE outage map right now. The Jacksonville Electrical Authority. Wow, 7,840 customers in the dark. That's pretty impressive. Not in a good way here, folks. I'm a little surprised to see it quite that high, but that's indicative of how strong and ferocious these storms are then. So almost 8,000 customers without electricity now in toward Jacksonville at this hour. We're going to go ahead and go on over here toward our other mode. You can kind of see what's going on. It's a little murky because we're kind of so close to the radar views, but let's see where some of the outages are right now. So, looking into toward Jacksonville, 1,721 toward Grand Park in the dark, 285 toward Inglewood, San Jose, 815 customers without electricity, 4,650 down there closer toward the St. John's, the Bartram Springs area. So I bet it's that area down here then. Let's go back on the radar a little bit then with this. That might have been before we got a warning, unfortunately, down there. Let's see what time was that. That couldn't have been that early. It says 1:21, but there's no way. I mean, that's at 1:30 there. I mean, that would really have to have been something pretty impressive then that radar didn't pick up. Maybe right there, but that would really be, that'd be surprising. I mean, to get it that early on, because, I mean, even I wouldn't have seen that necessarily there, that early in the process. I mean, to have much on that. So, again, just something that kind of worth noting, though, because our system's saying that was at 1:21 when that outage scenario started taking place. But, again, you see how that's kind of right in here, though. Ponte Vedra Beach to Jax Beach right now. Right around A1A, some stronger winds probably in there at this hour. So, kind of something to take note of. Looking back at this again, I'm just trying to get an idea of when that could have happened. That looks like that couldn't have been until about 1:30 or so, to be quite honest. That wind there coming across. We had those power outages just scrubbing between. So I think 1:21's a little early on that. But again, just continue to watch things here in the Weather Center. Definitely some strong weather moving through Duval County right now. Let me go ahead and look at some things here. We're just going to keep giving you guys the very latest to protect you, protect your friends, and protect your family here. I know we're going between all of our different systems here this afternoon to give you guys the very latest on what's happening. I know your system's working hard at times here when we're gathering those latest details here. Let me go ahead and see what JE has now. Okay, no new updates yet on there. New warning now for Duval and Nassau until 2:30. This area further to the north now triggering a warning, it would appear. So we'll see that pop up here in just a second on this mode. But just continuing to watch things here. And there it is on the other mode. So we'll pop that in. You see our 3 different areas of warnings in play. They are expiring one of the Duval warnings though. Okay, so that area in between kind of they're dropping off. You just saw it drop away. Just now live on the air. So I know Florida now leading the country in terms of power outages. In terms of states here, with almost 13,000 customers in the dark. I know some of these numbers we've seen higher. I know Baker 918 on the aggregate map is what's showing right now in the dark. Almost 7,000 on Duval for the aggregate, but we already had a little bit higher in JEA. And St. John's closer to 1,000 customers in the dark there at this hour. So again, let's go ahead and keep watching things here in the Weather Center. So we have the 2 warnings. They both go to 2:30. So for another 22 minutes here. Kind of still a little more instability out there than what we have to the south. There's still some in there that this stuff could kind of take advantage of. We'll monitor, we'll watch it just in case, but Again, let's go back up toward the north here. Let's see what we're doing with. I see we have a flood advisory now being issued for St. Johns County, and 415 also parts of Duval County under this flood advisory as well. So let's go ahead and see what we're tracking. I know some heavier rain there, piling on up. Let me check here. So a portion of northeast Florida, including counties of Duval and St. Johns, could have some minor flooding problems. You can tell by radar some heavy rain falling there, low lying and poor drainage areas. That's where you have your biggest concerns anyway. And ponding of water in urban or other areas is occurring or is imminent. So again, a Doppler radar indicated heavy rain due to this thunderstorm activity. So some small stream flooding there, where we could have between 1 and 2 inches of rain here that's fallen, causing issues. So some locations that experience flooding include Jacksonville, St. Augustine, UNF, Ponte Vedra Beach, Arlington, Mandarin, Fruit Cove, Jacksonville Beach, Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach, St. Augustine Beach, San Pablo, Palm Valley, Bayard, Bay Meadows, Sawgrass, Craig Field, Nocatee, Durbin, and Fort Caroline. So, again, just got to be extra careful on those roads this afternoon. Some folks on a weekend, you may not be as familiar with it. Just coming in Jacksonville for a day or a half day or an hour or two even, or 3, and you're getting caught up in this with the storms in play. So, looking at some of our different data here. Of course, that storminess here in the Stark area is kind of passing by, but still hearing some thunder rumbles, so be careful when thunder roars go indoors. But as we go over toward the east here, again, you can kind of see what we're doing with some of our different scans. You see there this other warning that got issued until 2:30. Let's go over some of these communities on this. So, East Central Nassau, Northeastern Duval counties until 2:30. 2:07, a severe thunderstorm was located over Ocean Way near Jacksonville International Airport, moving northeast at 15 miles an hour. So that's kind of storyline there where we're talking about areas like GIA, Jacksonville International Airport here, impacted, Yulee, Talbot Island, Ocean Way, and Amelia City. So again, we're tracking things here very carefully with our Doppler scans moving toward American Beach there. It looks to be one of the spots really showing up on our map right now. So, again, let's go back to some other modes, though. Let's go back to some other modes. They just updated that warning to the south now, just more confined to the coastal areas with a severe thunderstorm located over San Pablo or near Ponte Vedra Beach. Moving northeast at 15 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour gusts, pretty sized hail. Those are your hazards there. Ponte Vedra Beach, Jacksonville Beach in there, as well as Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach, Palm Valley, Sawgrass, and San Pablo. So again, it's that smaller polygon right here on the first coast that we're tracking right now. And this bigger one is another one that we're tracking. So again, just continuing to give you guys the very latest here on what's going on. Let me go ahead and see what we're doing with. We're going to go ahead and give you guys the very latest. We're going to give you guys the very latest. So, I'm going to check some more information here, excuse me, as we're trying to give you guys all the updates. This is a one-man band. I'm sticking with this here. So we'll wrap this up here pretty soon, but I gotta stick with this a little bit longer to make sure everybody's staying safe and informed here on what is happening. So, again, going between all our different sources here in the Weather Center. It's all about making sure you guys know what's going on here. There's more organized action coming on through here than what we generally see for this time of year. And being on a Sunday, it catches more folks off guard. I mean, you don't really want to look. I mean, unless you're really into weather, you don't want to be looking at this stuff here on a Sunday. I mean, you'd rather just kind of enjoy your day here without storms. But this is what we have to deal with here this time of year, but this is more enhanced than what we generally see with more organization here to the storms. Again, continuing to track things. You see some lightning there quite a bit of lightning in toward Camden County. I know there's still a lot of instability right up there, so let's see if there's anything that's interesting in our wind mode. We may get a little bit more enhancement up there then because of that instability right there in the coast. So we may have a little bit more to go on this. There's a chance we might get a warning up there with all that instability there that's still kind of in play then. Let's go up here on our map. Significant weather advisory there is for winds around 40 to about 215. That was for areas east of Folkestone, but now I suspect we'll get another advisory here at this point, but can't rule out a warning being issued there if we see some growth in that, some more strengthening. Don't see a lot of growth there right now, but there's a lot of instability in there. Oh, but this area here, this yellow box, Ponte Vedra Beach, Sawgrass, to a lesser extent, but really Jack's Beach, Neptune Beach, they're really getting hammered right now by some nasty weather. Hope everybody's inside and away from windows there. This is about to be kind of pushing away from there for now, but still some lingering shower accents, and not a great day to be out and about, but it won't be maybe severe weather back behind as we lose that instability. This light rain can kind of help to cool things and stabilize things even more so, which is good, but we're just going to keep looking at things here in the Weather Center. You can see here, looking at our maps right now. Let's get back on over. You see this area is close to being an issue more as to coastal waters. That's why there's special marine warning in play there. But in this area here, some stronger winds pushing right into American Beach. Only 700, 800 feet off the ground here. I mean, it's an angle where sometimes things get a little obscured in here, but American Beach, we're watching some stuff. We're watching some things here. Trying to give you the latest. New significant weather advisory now. Let's see what we got. It's going to go for north central Nassau, Camden, Glen, southeastern Brantley, and northeastern Charlton counties to 3 o'clock. So we're going to keep watching things as they get further on up in that picture. Again, just continuing here to give you guys the very latest. I'm just checking some things here still. It's all about protecting you, your friends, and your family. Let's go ahead and get back down here. So American Beach, some stronger winds moving that way. Let me see what we have in the GA power out as a map. I know we were on that earlier. Get an update there. There's your advisory to the north. Pretty big one, all the way through Brunswick, 45 to 55 when they got. So strongly worded advisory, just under a warning criteria, it seems up there. Got to watch out that instability through 3 o'clock. Okay, over 10,000 customers now in Jacksonville without power. So that's something you don't see too often. 10,311 customers in the dark now on JEA's grid. So that's a good number without electricity here at this present time. The latest update is coming in. So worth noting here. Worth noting for sure. Over 10,000 customers without electricity. A lot of those down toward areas there closer toward Bartram Springs and St. John's. But then we got some there toward South Point there. San Jose. Getting in there toward, it looks like Avondale, Grand Park. There's some outages there as well. So you kind of get the idea of what we're dealing with. Let's go ahead, get back on over here. This one warning probably going away soon, but still, you don't want to be out of the beach. It's not great weather. So got some of those lightning threats in play. So you can back up to the north there. You see here some brighter colors indicative of stronger winds here moving toward American Beach. We're just going to keep on looking there. We're going to keep on looking there for a little bit longer as we keep giving you guys the latest updates here in the Weather Center. 2:18 on this Sunday. Again, trying to give you guys the very latest here on what's going on. Let's see here. Zooming around a bit. We still got that flash flood warning up in Lee and Terrell counties. You can see there's not much rainfall in there now, but earlier on, 1 hour rain, not as much, but storm total shows 3 inches or so east of Dawson showing up. There are some issues just north of, it looks like, State Road 32. So, again, some problems in toward that area, the viewing circle. New warning now just being issued just south of our area. See if they issue a warning up here then. Just kind of seeing some different things here though. I'm just going to keep looking at some of our different scans. So this warning is a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag now for north central Volusia County until 3 o'clock at 2:18. A severe thunderstorm is located near Daytona Beach, moving northeast at 15 miles an hour. So Daytona Beach, Port Orange, Ormond Beach, South Daytona, Holly Hill, Ormond by the Sea, Daytona Beach Sword, Daytona International Speedway, Daytona Beach Airport, Ormond Beach Airport under this. So let's go ahead and look here at the Melbourne radar because they're saying there's some rotation with this. And by that tornado possible tag, they're implying here that if this were to strengthen, a tornado warning could be required. Right now, we're so high up on the radar, it's hard to see how tight things are. There is some broad rotation higher up, though. You can see some green and red trying to come together. Terminal radar, I don't know if that would do us much good, but I would try that. I'll go back to Jacksonville. I see some broad rotation there. Again, I mean, there could be something in there, but we're not in a good spot at all for radar up here. So it makes things kind of tricky around Ormond Beach there. Holly Hill. Again, I'm just continuing to give you guys the very latest here on what's going on. I'm just going to go ahead and keep checking here with what's happening here. Everything going on here on Weather Center, all of our resources working for you. We're being told that yesterday now, more reports coming in of damage toward like Lowndes County, Valdosta here. Now, Lowndes County Dispatch reporting a pole was struck by lightning and the lines were down in the Valdosta area from yesterday's storms. We're still kind of getting everything in here. Been a busy period again. In toward our viewing circle. Again, reminding you guys where we're at. We're in Bradford County. We covered these 62 counties here very, very carefully here. I know we're always on for any tornado warning, storm moving through any one of these 62 counties. I've been on for every single one since late 2019. Every single one since late 2019. At first, it was just Twitter, Facebook, one or the other based on where we were. Twitter, Tallahassee, Facebook, Jacksonville areas. But then we were able to simulcast on all the different sources. And that's what we do now here. And then we're in a severe thunderstorm situation. We plan by ear, but these situations have been more organized the last couple of days, especially. So that's why we've been on here more often. But Facebook, and even Friday night, going back to them, and those type of scenarios here, those warnings. But Facebook, Casey Cloud WX, Cloud Weather there on Facebook, and then Twitter at Cloud Casey, YouTube at Cloud Weather. If you haven't already hit subscribe, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's free. You can even back things up in that stream if you missed something I said. You don't have to wait till the stream ends like you do on Facebook and Twitter. You can just go on YouTube there and back it up with the DVR function. Enable the notifications. That'll also let you know when we're coming on to give you guys the latest weather information. And then Twitch there, Cloud's Weather. Another source is cloudweather.com. That's a website there that gives you guys a breakdown of all the different sources that we have at our disposal here. And then also the radar tab is helpful too. Severe tab is helpful, giving you guys some different outlooks there from the Storm Prediction Center, some of those different reports from the day here. You guys kind of get an idea on that there at home. So kind of giving you guys everything you need there in these type of situations. So let's go ahead and jump away from this right now and go ahead and get back on over here toward this view. I know trying to give you guys everything that's going on here the best we can. Let me go ahead and zoom back on out a bit. We're going to go ahead and get back toward the north. You can see we have some thunderstorm warnings here on play till 2:30 for parts of the coverage area. Again, we're just going to keep watching those here. We also, again, thank you for watching. I know folks like Top Cat, I appreciate it again. I appreciate that there on YouTube. You watching there and your donation there, per se. And then just again, we're just gonna keep on keeping you guys informed here on what's happening in these type of circumstances and this type of setup. So again, let's just go ahead and keep on checking here with everything that's coming in. Everything that's coming in at this point in time. Let me go ahead and just see what we have here. Let me see what we have at this point. Again, we're just going to go ahead and see what's happening. See what's happening here. Let me go ahead and go on over here to what we're dealing with in terms of our Doppler scan. Again, just seeing American Beach still, some nastier weather. Okay, there's expiring that warning for parts of Duval and St. John's. This yellow box gonna go away. There you go. We still have this one for a few more moments up toward the north here. Up toward the north here. Fernandina Beach. Okay, that's the 30 minute. They're gonna expire this at 2:30 as well. So technically it's still go for another 5 minutes or so, but no longer really in play here in terms of the biggest concerns, especially though as we get past 2:30. But in Camden County, gotta watch things a little. This is over in more rural areas right now, very rural. You can kind of tell as just a few spots out here, but it's pretty rural overall. But as this gets further on out here, few folks could get impacted as we look up. So we'll have to watch just in case it gets another warning up there. This storm here is just on the fringes, just outside of our covered area. Let's check the Melbourne radar. There is some rotation here. That makes you a little bit concerned, and you gotta be kind of careful this doesn't clip far southern Flagler, south of Flagler Beach maybe, with some type of warning. Just continuing to look at things. Continuing to look at things here. I know still more reports coming out of Augusta from yesterday. So a lot of different reports of storm damage happening across portions of our region. Up at 7/10 of an inch east to start today on that rain gauge. On that rain gauge. We're just going to keep looking at things. Just going to keep giving you guys the very latest here. I just want to make sure you guys know exactly what's going on here in this type of setup. I know we're just trying to make sure you guys are understanding what's going on here, and let's see what we're dealing with. We have some advisories in southern Georgia here that are worth noting. Turner County, some winds in excess of 40 were noted here based on radar indications. Some issues just outside of the area as well possible. So looking north of Tipton there, and you see though Camden County, we have some wind up there. We're watching. So again, we don't need to stay on really for things in Lee and Terrell because that flash flood warning. Things have kind of moved out of there. Just some lingering effects maybe, but haven't heard of anything really happening. There could have been a few issues, but overall nothing that's just overwhelming up there. A few inches fell pretty quick though, but then we have two areas really. It's really now, two warnings go officially at 2:30, but then it's about watching Camden and Glen. If we get a warning up there, and then if that stuff from Volusia slips into Flagler, there is a severe thunderstorm warning just outside of our covered area. That's been issued by the Melbourne office until 3 o'clock for Volusia County. There even is a tornado possible tag within this, so that's what kind of caused a little more concern then, just in case things get a little bit trickier here on us. We don't want to let our guard down in case we were to start to get a rotation to emerge a little bit tighter, and if that were to get into our area. I know we're not getting the greatest radar coverage down there because we're so far away from the radar, but again, the different radars, Melbourne and Jacksonville for that matter, but there was a gust of 41 miles an hour earlier at Daytona Beach Airport. New Smyrna Beach, a gust of 39 miles an hour. So again, just looking at some of our different informational details here. We're just going to keep checking here. Keep looking at everything. Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach. I don't see a bunch down there, but again, It's just right outside of our area. If we're to get some type of quick warning here, it would happen where we might not have much time to really warn you guys if something were to emerge here, and then the warning would be canceled. So that's something to keep in mind here in southern Flagler County. We're just going to go ahead and keep looking at things here. Keep monitoring our Doppler scan just a bit longer. Now, at points we don't have as much to say, but I think it's time to check the power outages again. So let me go ahead and see what we have in terms of those then. Let me go ahead and see. Okay, Florida's numbers are jumped up even higher now. We'll see where these are coming from. Are they from our area? Some of these are, yeah. I mean, not all of them, but Baker County now, the aggregate has over 1,000 on Baker County, over 9,000 in the aggregate on Duval, just putting all the companies together. Already.us, over 9,000 customers in Dark and Duval County. That's a lot. And then over 800 in St. Johns County, almost 2,000 in Nassau County. These storms definitely causing some damage to the north here this afternoon. Baker, Duval, and Nassau counties where the primary focus has been. So that's something we got to be mindful of here for sure. Just be careful. Now, if you have down power lines in toward like your neighborhood, make sure you avoid those. They could still be live. And also, if powered out for a little while, be really careful if you try to use a generator, because if it's one of those that's a portable generator, make sure that you're in a situation where you're not putting yourself at risk from carbon monoxide poisoning. So keep that in mind if it's a gasoline portable one. But again, and then treat those traffic lights as four-way stops if you don't have somebody directing traffic there in this type of instance. So again, looking up toward the north, you see Camden County, west of Woodbine, some heavier downpours there right now. Over 10,000 still out on the JEA map right now. Let me go ahead and see here. That's the official information from them. Let's see what we have. I see there was looking at some stuff in Bradford County earlier on. There's a utility call out, Temple and Sap. I haven't seen that completed there yet, but it may have been completed, just didn't come in the system. But again, looking at things here, Camden County, west of Woodbine there, still. Some of the heaviest wind is off the coast, though, Nassau and Duval and St. John's. You can see this area, this small warning here. Looks like they have trimmed that back some. There's still a tornado possible tag on it, though. Very on the fringes of radar coverage, if you want to, almost not even really within radar coverage here, but it's in a bad spot on the radar, to be quite honest. But let's go ahead and check in here. This is right in Ormond Beach and right on the edge of our area. I mean, you can kind of see a little bit of spin there if you look real carefully. I mean, that may just slip just south of our area, but it's close enough. I mean, there's a little bit of green and red there. That might, I mean, it looks like we're right on the fringes there or something, but it's really tough to tell. Really tough to tell right there it's near the interstate. Maybe pull up a camera. Let's do that then. This is just outside of our area, but because we don't have great radar cover down there, let's pull up a camera. See if we can catch something on there. You never know, to try to help warn you guys out there. So again, let's go ahead and see what we have there. We're going to go ahead and give you guys the very latest. That's around Ormond Beach. So just to kind of giving you guys an idea geographically of where we're at right now. Let's see what we have there. This was an advisory for part of Flagler to 3, by the way, to Jacksonville, if you're wondering. So definitely some flashes of lightning in here, and I know they're in Volusia County. So let's go ahead and go to our traffic full then. You're looking at it, it doesn't look really overwhelming, but this is interesting. And then advisory for Flagler, 45 to 55 mile an hour gusts possible up there with excessive cloud and ground lightning possible in the region. Minor flooding as well due to the heavy rainfall. Palm Coast, Flagler Beach, and Beverly Beach. So again, just gotta be kind of paying attention up and toward that vicinity. Again, let's see what else we might have here. Getting back on over to the Doppler radar. Again, just checking on what's going on here. Let's see if there's any other cameras maybe I can get a better perspective on of things. Let's see, this is gonna be something that doesn't really help too much. I'm not gonna pull it up on your end, but I'm just checking some things behind the scenes if you're wondering what I'm doing here this afternoon. Let me just keep checking. Okay, this is something further up even on I-95. Darker skies. Let's go to it then. This could help us a little bit. I mean, it's looking north. This is at mile marker 284, so trying to give you guys an idea of where we're at exactly, but you can kind of see the darker sky. It's cutting out a little bit, maybe some issues with the signal because of the conditions being more inclement in the area, but yeah, definitely some inclement conditions causing some pixelation problems with that camera, but just watching the cloud line a little bit there. Definitely some nastier weather. That warning just south of the viewing circle that's in play right now. So again, something that we're looking at, something that we're tracking. There's a tornado possible tag. It's just right there. It's so murky. And there's significant advisory for Flagler Beach in there. If this stuff could kind of try to get up here, you have to be kind of mindful of it. It's just a little bit tough to tell here at this point. We're just going to keep looking, keep monitoring. I don't see a lot there since we're so high up on the scan. I don't think you would see much there one way or the other. Almost a little sea-safe in there, but not really seeing a lot. It's just, I'm not 100% sure you see a whole bunch, but let's go to the storms up here. These don't look quite as intense here for what's in the more populated areas, but we're just off the coast here. Different stories and really strong winds, and just over these more, I guess you could say, kind of more marshy areas. To some degree, we're seeing winds of 40 to 50, but that could get into some areas here, like it looks like State Road 50. We'll have to see if we get some type of warning towards Sea Island or something. There's an advisory for 45 to 55 right now. That seems like that's about what would make the most sense here, but we'll keep our eyes on it here in the Weather Center just in case. So just like we're keeping our eyes on that area there around just areas Ormond by the Sea, and it's really murky in there. Haven't got anything just overwhelming out of that area. That's the good news. Haven't seen anything like stand out, but with that tornado possible tag, that's why I'm trying to be a little more careful. Just in case something were to spin up on us here. They're still continuing that warning though. Just south of our 62 counties. Just south of our 62 counties. At 2:30, so if a thunderstorm is located in areas like Ormond by the Sea or over Ormond Beach, moving northeast at 15 miles an hour. Daytona Beach, Ormond Beach, Holly Hill, Ormond by the Sea, Daytona Beach Shores, and Ormond Beach Airport with a tornado possible tag in play, but not enough rotation for a tornado warning, but 60-mile-an-hour wind gust a possibility in there as well. Again, just continuing to watch the overall process here of this, the overall genesis of this here. Most of that heavy rain getting closer to the coast now. Some stronger weather out back in the Putnam County. I don't see a lot there right now. We'll watch it. You see again storms in Georgia, southeast, but now also further up here we're getting a new advisory. It looks like just coming on in now. Okay, so they're going to go with a new advisory now. Winds in excess of 40. They think these could intensify now, is what they're saying here in the statement. These storms here in Georgia, way further back. I don't know if there's enough instability for that. Let's see what the temperatures look like out here. Let's see what the temperatures look like out here. Just a second. Let me pop these up, get the latest numbers. They've warmed up some. I mean, that may not be quite enough to get too much out of this, but again, it's going to continue to watch things here. So we have areas like Newton, Tipton, Nashville, Osceola, Fitzgerald, Sylvester, Camilla, Moultrie, Sparks, Enigma, Norman Park, Baconton, Lenox, Darwin, Ty, Phillipsburg, Mystic under this threat of some gusts there at about 40 miles an hour. Tipton seeing some winds about 30, sewing up there right now. This is an unusual angle in some ways here. I mean, this pattern based on what we've been seeing, some of the other storms have been coming from different directions, but 30 to 40, not seeing enough for a warning right now, but we'll watch. It looks like up in Telfair County, maybe a little bit stronger stuff. That's not in our covered area, and some of that stuff wouldn't be imminently in our covered area either, thankfully, because that looks like some rotation actually moving to more McRae there. But that's not in our area or something that would necessarily be headed right into our area there. So that's the good news, but that's something for folks in Central Georgia to be watching. Let's get back down toward that Volusia County storm. I did see they just canceled the flash flood warning for Lee and Terrell, by the way, if you're wondering. Tallahassee just canceled that, which is great news. A little bit of wind enhancement right here, just east of Corona, just east of 95. Looking at that there right now. Again, no warnings now within our 62 counties at all with that flash flood warning going away, but we're still watching things overall here because of what we're dealing with in terms of just a little bit of weak rotation in there. The Volusia has that warning 4 and that Melbourne issued at 4 until about 3 o'clock. So again, we wouldn't have much notice here if we had to jump in with this. So we're trying to be careful here. Get a new advisory way back out in the Panhandle now, I'm being told. So let's see what this is all about. These storms out here now getting a little bit stronger. We're Bay and Walden and Washington counties. That could be an issue later on, maybe, but let's see what direction they're going. Those are going southeast, and it probably wouldn't be. Those would be headed more southeast, so then that'd be more Panama City. And then those wouldn't necessarily be an issue for us, which is good, but we'll watch, we'll track. Let's see. I know, watching everything here on our scans. Some wind enhancement west of Woodbine, but it didn't look severe off of Moody. Again, in Camden County now. A lot of wind just off the coast. I mean, that's really strong wind just out there, though. Thankfully, on that leading edge, so that could be helping us kind of suppress that further back a little bit then. That's kind of coming into play there on that angle. That looked a little bit more, and then not maybe getting a warning up there. In this area here, I don't see a lot, but I see some greens and reds, and we don't have great radar coverage here, so that's why I've been trying to stick with this as long as I need to, but probably had to wrap it up here. East of 95, probably, if there was something in there. I mean, I guess you couldn't rule something out in the back side. I don't think that's what we were seeing earlier on. We've been switching radars, so kind of lose some of these volume scans. But right in there, you see some greens and reds. I was in Southern Flagler, though. 218. There's some more back down here. Stuff looked brighter earlier on. I wish we had some other radar coverage out there, but we don't. Makes it a little bit tough. Again, we've seen a little bit more instability. Maybe try to come into play there. A few spots, but I don't see much on surface-based Cape. But temperatures have warmed some there. We have that significant weather advisory. Baker County, Georgia, Cook County, Georgia there. Tipp County, Georgia. So just something to kind of keep in mind. We'll just continue to watch things here in the Weather Center. We'll just keep giving you guys the latest updates here as necessary as that timeline does go along here. If we need to come back, we definitely will, but I think it's about time to just wrap it. At this point, we're just checking all of our different sources here. We're just trying to see exactly what we're dealing with. I mean, that's what it's all about here at Cloud Weather, to see what's going on, see what's happening. I see just, again, not that much of a wind pattern there to the south, but if we get another warning, we'll come back if we need to. If it's a tornado warning, obviously we would. So for thunderstorm warning, using more discretion, especially if it's kind of short-lived, less population in there, less convincing type of signatures, some different parameters, different characteristics that we use here. But for now, that's going to do it, I think. You see all the different platforms we're on. If we just need to post warnings, Facebook, Casey Cloud Reacts, Facebook, Clouds Weather, Twitter at Cloud Casey, YouTube at Cloud Weather. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. It's free there to do that. And enable those notifications. And then Twitch there, Cloud Weather, website cloudweather.com. And then you have the radar tab on there. You have severe tab. You have things there. I mean, just keep in mind, you have just a slew of things there on that website to kind of keep you guys up to date on a variety of different things. So that's going to do it for now. We hope you guys have a great day. Looking at power outage numbers are still up there pretty high. I'm looking toward Florida, toward Duval County. GEA, there's still a good number that are in the dark on that grid there. Jacksonville Electrical Authority now over 12,500 customers in the dark with that latest check on things. So definitely a nasty storm situation to go through there. But for now, thanks so much for tuning in and trusting me.